Now that the level 2 workbench requires 5 basic blueprint fragments, you're wondering what's the quickest way to get one. In this video, I'm going to show you the 4 fastest strategies for getting a level 2 workbench and getting ahead of your server's tech curve, as well as what to avoid in your blueprint fragment grind. Our first strategy is the simplest and most effective, doing green and blue keycard puzzles around the map. To start out, we're going to need a green keycard. Supermarket and gas station are in my opinion the best for this. Next, we're going to run a green card monument like sewer branch. Keep in mind you'll need a fuse for any green card puzzle in the game. Once you're in and looting through the puzzle room, you'll have a decent chance to loot your first basic blueprint fragment from military crates. But what we're really here for is the blue card on the desk, as well as the guaranteed basic blueprint fragment next to it. With the blue card in hand, we can head over to a blue card puzzle monument like water treatment. While traveling, make sure you're killing scientists along the road, as they can drop basic blueprint fragments and more green cards. We can pick up our third blueprint fragment here inside the blast doors. At monuments like train yard or power plant, that single fragment will be behind the green card door before you enter the blue card puzzle area. Once we've got that fuse in, we're ready to swipe in with the blue card to our last 2 basic blueprint fragments. This strategy is by far the fastest way to collect basic blueprint fragments, with the entire process only taking me less than 20 minutes. This is also by far the riskiest strategy. You may be contested and have to PvP for puzzle rooms, some of them may be down and you'll have to wait for them to respawn, and losing your cards can really set you back in this whole process. But if all you care about is speed, there's no better option than running puzzle rooms for basic blueprint fragments. If you're a solo or just want to play it a bit safer while still getting a quick level 2 workbench, this next option is the best one for you. This route is going to get started off in Fishing Village. The first thing we're going to do is pick up and complete this quest for a fishing rod and some bait to fish with. For more info on this process, check out my other video linked here. Also, make sure to take the kayak follow-up quest, as that'll give you 75 scrap for fishing 3 times, which we're going to do anyways. If you can, bring 10 extra raw bear or wolf meat to fish with, or you can have a friend do the bait quest too, for guaranteed chances at more big fish. Now we're going to use all of our bait to fish until we run out, and all we've got left are salmon and small sharks. Try to be patient and not snap the line here, because the biggest slowdown to this whole thing is running out of bait without enough fish. The next step in this process is to gut our salmon and sharks until we have a blue key card. You might get lucky and get an early blue key card from this process, but as long as you have at least 7 fish to gut, you're almost guaranteed a card. After gutting, we'll sell our excess fish at the vending machine for as much scrap as we can get. Then we can take our scrap and buy a full set of diving gear. With our full set of diving gear, we can go accept the pump shotgun quest from the diving master, and if we can afford it, we'll use our extra scrap to buy a boat. Now it's time to head out to the ocean and complete the diving quest. While diving, we'll have a 10% chance at a basic blueprint fragment from these large underwater crates. And once we've looted 10 underwater crates, we can go turn in our quest for a pump shotgun and 100 extra scrap. With our diving gear, pump shotgun, and blue card, we're going to go down and jump into underwater labs. Use the pump shotgun to clear out any enemies here and look for a room with a computer station, as these always spawn with the green key card in the locker. Now that we have our green and blue key cards, we're ready to start opening up some labs puzzles. Keep in mind some of them require a fuse, but you're likely to loot one from all the crates down in underwater. Once we're in, we can loot the basic blueprint fragment as well as all the crates in the puzzle room. Find and open as many of the green and blue keycard puzzles in your labs as you can, for more chances at blueprint fragments. You should now be at about 3 basic blueprint fragments, and to get the last 2 you need, you have a couple options. You could either wait for labs to respawn, or go out and dive and loot underwater large crates until you're finished collecting all of your basic blueprint fragments. Collecting basic blueprint fragments for a level 2 workbench this way is a far safer option and still extremely fast, taking just under an hour to get all 5 fragments. This is my favorite strategy and probably the one I'll use most often. Our next strategy isn't the fastest method for getting a level 2 workbench, but it's definitely the safest and my recommendation if you're going to be playing solo on a competitive server. This route starts off the same way as our last one. Starting in Fishing Village, we're going to pick up the fishing rod quest and complete it. Again, make sure you're picking up the kayak follow-up quest for the free scrap it gives you from fishing that we're doing anyways. Make sure to be patient here and not snap the line again, as losing bait is really detrimental to this process. Once you're out of bait, sell all your fish to the vending machine and use the scrap to buy a full set of diving gear as well as a boat. Don't forget to pick up the pump shotgun quest from the diving master for a free gun and 100 scrap before you leave Fishing Village. Now our whole strategy revolves around diving and looting large underwater crates. Each large underwater crate has a 10% chance of containing a basic blueprint fragment. That means that after looting 75 of these crates, you'll have had an 80% chance of seeing 5 basic blueprint fragments and being able to craft a level 2 workbench. Your biggest danger down here is sharks, so it may not be a bad idea to bring a spear gun and spears if you have that option. This definitely isn't the most glamorous grind as a solo, but it's the safest way for you to get 5 blueprint fragments and pretty consistent, with it only taking me about an hour and 40 minutes to loot the necessary number of crates. Our last strategy falls right in the middle. It's not the safest option, not the most dangerous, not the slowest, and also not the quickest. But I think it's another consistent way for you to get enough fragments for a level 2 workbench. For this route, we're going to head down to the underground tunnels. Make sure you have some weapons on you, as we're going to need to kill a lot of tunnel dwellers. Here I use a crossbow and a nail gun. Once you get down to the train tracks, just start clearing NPCs as fast as you can. Almost all of the monuments in Rust had their military crate spawns nerfed, but this isn't the case for the underground tunnels. Since we'll need about 75 military crates to get enough fragments for a level 2 workbench, this is our best bet in terms of grinding out military crates to accomplish that. As you're doing this, make sure you've brought some low grade so that you can use a train to move quickly in between crate spawns for faster looting. Then it's just rinse and repeat. Keep clearing scientists and looting crates until you're up to 5 basic blueprint fragments. As a solo, this is going to be a pretty slow grind, with it having taken me about 2.5 hours to complete. My recommendation if you're going this route is to bring some friends along. You can clear the scientists 2 to 3 times faster if you've got more people, and that'll easily cut a full hour or more off of this, bringing the total time down closer to 90 minutes. There's also definitely a chance for you to run into other people farming down here and get into some PvP scenarios, so keep that in mind as you're doing this. But all in all, this is another very consistent way to farm a level 2 workbench. Those were all the strategies that I'd recommend for farming a level 2 workbench, but it's not the only ways that you can get basic blueprint fragments in Rust. So here's some things that I don't think you should do for the most part when trying to get a level 2 workbench. I do not recommend roadside metal detecting for basic blueprint fragments, because with a 6% chance at one, you're only likely to see a fragment every 26 attempts. But if you're going to try it, here's how you should do it. As you're running around with the metal detector, alt-look down so you can see the green bar fill up. Once the green bar is full, right-click to see how full the yellow bar is. From here, all you need to do is walk around until the yellow bar is full. If it's going down, turn around and head the opposite direction until you're locked in on wherever the flag pops up. There's the potential to get multiple flags in a row, so make sure you're checking to see if you've got another one close after you get one flag up. Not only is this a pretty slow way to get blueprint fragments, but to be honest, I think it's probably the one that makes you most likely to get killed out in the open, so just keep that in mind, and that's probably the main reason why I don't really recommend doing this that often. Another option that I don't recommend is grinding out monument military crate spawns for basic blueprint fragments. As I mentioned earlier, pretty much every monument in the game had its military crate spawns nerfed. Between that and how contested the monuments always are, that makes this the most painful option for collecting your blueprint fragments. There's nothing wrong with trying to get your last 1 or 2 fragments this way, but don't expect to get all 5 fragments from monument crates unless you plan on grinding for nearly 4+ hours straight. To wrap it up, you don't have to stick to any one strategy. Feel free to mix and match. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please tell me in the comments what your favorite route for collecting basic blueprint fragments is, and I'll see you guys next time.